Coi Leray came in with a glow no one could ignore. She had the look, the moves, the catchy beats, and a vibe that made people pay attention. She wasn't just another name trying to blow up, she had a different sound. Something bold, something loud, something fun. When she dropped songs like No More Parties and Big Purr, the whole internet talked about her. She had people doing dances all over TikTok. Her face was everywhere, and people started saying she was the next big thing. She didn't sound like anyone else. She didn't dress like anyone else. She didn't act like anyone else. And for a while, that made her stand out. But as time went on, the same things that made people love her started to push people away. The internet can lift you up fast, but it can flip on you just as quick. And Coi Leray learned that the hard way. At the start, she had a moment. She had that energy that made people feel like something new was happening in music. She didn't need a cosign. She built her wave off social media. She used her look, her voice, her wild energy, and turned herself into a star. People were calling her bold, fearless, different. She had fans, she had critics, but most of all, she had attention. And in this game, attention is everything. But attention comes with pressure. When you're new, people love you. But once you're famous, they expect more. They want bigger songs, deeper lyrics, flawless live shows, and constant hits. And if you don't deliver, they start to turn away. That's what started happening to Coi. After her breakout, her name was everywhere, but the music didn't always hit the same. Some people said her voice was too high, her flow was too playful, her lyrics too basic. They wanted her to be more serious, more lyrical, more grown, but that's not who she was. And the more she tried to please everyone, the more she lost what made her unique. And the more people started to drift away. Coi tried different styles, different sounds. She dropped songs that were supposed to be big, but they didn't connect the same way. She had a song with Nicki Minaj, and even that didn't change things for long. It was like the hype was slipping and no one could stop it, not even her. At the same time, people started talking more about her looks than her lyrics, more about her body than her bars. She'd go viral for her outfits or her dances, but not for the songs. And that's when you know something's wrong. When the music fades and all that's left is the image, it means the art is no longer leading the way. She tried to stay in the game. She kept dropping tracks and showing up on features. She kept smiling online, posting content, trying to stay visible. But the numbers weren't the same. The fans weren't reacting like before. And slowly, her name started to fade from the big conversations. And then came the criticism. People online called her mid. They said she couldn't rap. They said she only blew up because of TikTok. They said she was just a trend and not a real artist. That stuff hurts. Because when you come in with love and end up with hate, it shakes your confidence. It makes you question if you were ever good enough to begin with. Coi started clapping back. She tweeted about being underrated. She said people didn't get her. She said she was ahead of her time. But no matter what she said, the momentum wasn't there anymore. The songs weren't sticking the same way. And her buzz was now quiet. It wasn't just fans either. Even other artists started distancing themselves from her. The features stopped. The interviews slowed down. The magazine covers weren't coming in. And you could feel it, like the world had moved on without her, like the spotlight was on someone new. And that's the painful part of this game. It moves fast. One day you're viral, the next day you're invisible. And unless you have a core fan base that really rocks with you, you can't survive off hype alone. Coi had fans, but not a strong base. Not the type that would ride for her through the ups and downs. She started doing more shows, trying to stay relevant. But even those had problems. People would clown her live performances. They'd say she was offbeat or too loud or awkward. And those clips would go viral for all the wrong reasons. Instead of boosting her career, they made her a joke to some people. When you become a meme more than a musician, it's hard to get taken seriously again. And that's what happened to Coi. She became an easy target for jokes and hate. And no matter what she dropped, people already made up their mind. They weren't giving her a real chance. She tried to talk about it. She said she felt alone. She said she was tired of people dragging her for being herself. She opened up about her mental health. She tried to be real. But in this industry, people don't always care about that. They just want hits. And when you're not giving them hits, they move on. And the sad part is, Coi wasn't even doing anything wrong. She stayed in her lane. She didn't cause drama. She wasn't out here beefing with people or chasing clout. She was just trying to make music and be herself. But sometimes, being yourself isn't enough when the crowd decides they are done with you. She even tried dropping albums, but they didn't move the needle. The streams were light, the reviews were mixed, and worst of all, nobody was talking about it. Silence is louder than hate, because at least when people hate, they're still watching. But when people stop caring, that's when the fall really begins. She kept trying. She changed her image. She tried different aesthetics. She worked with new producers. She even leaned into pop a bit, trying to reach a wider audience. But nothing hit like No More Parties did. Nothing caught fire. And when you chase a moment, it usually runs from you. Her social media presence also changed. She started posting less. Her energy was different. The confidence looked forced. She used to have that wild, fearless glow. But now it seemed like she was moving carefully, trying not to mess up. That spark, it wasn't there anymore, and fans noticed. They weren't mean, just quiet. They stopped engaging. They stopped caring. They moved on to new artists. Female rap had exploded. New names were rising, and Coi was getting left behind. She wasn't the face anymore. She was just a memory of a moment that passed. The industry didn't protect her either. Labels don't wait. If you're not hot, you're not a priority. So she lost support. The budget got smaller. The opportunities dried up. And she had to start doing more by herself. That's when you really feel it. When it's all on you and the world is just watching. But what hurts the most is knowing she had it. She had the moment. She had the attention. She had the voice, the look, the tools. But the world shifted too fast. The sound changed. The culture moved. And she didn't move with it fast enough. She stayed true to herself. But in this game, sometimes that's not enough. Coi Leray fell off not because she wasn't talented, but because the wave she came with disappeared. And she didn't have a solid base to hold her up. She was floating on virality. And once that faded, there was nothing under it. No foundation, no structure. Just fading noise. And maybe that's the lesson here. In this new era of rap, especially for women, the game is fast. TikTok fame comes quick, but staying in the game takes more than just trends. You need timeless music, real fans, and a vision that lasts. Without that, even stars like Coi can fall. But don't get it twisted. She's still young. She's still got time. The industry moves fast, but comebacks are always possible. Maybe she'll find her sound again. Maybe she'll connect again. Maybe she just needs one more hit to get back on top. Because even when you fall, the story's not over. Not if you're still fighting. But for now, the truth is clear. The Coi Leray wave that once took over is gone. And in today's music world, that fall is loud. Not because people are talking, but because now they're not talking at all.